Some of you are going to hate this video, not because it's wrong, but because it's going to show you exactly why people don't take you seriously, and worse, why some people, without even trying, make others nervous around them. You ever notice certain individuals who never raise their voice, never threaten anyone, yet people walk carefully around them? They don't ask for respect. They don't demand it. It's given, instinctively, almost fearfully. That's not luck. That's design. Machiavelli wrote 500 years ago, "It is much safer to be feared than loved." He wasn't talking about being a tyrant. He was talking about creating a presence so stable, so unreadable, that people think twice before crossing you. Most people get this backwards. They try to be liked. They try to be agreeable. And they end up being the one everyone feels comfortable disrespecting. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you 7 silent behaviors that trigger a very specific response in others, a response that has nothing to do with aggression and everything to do with control. Behaviors so subtle that most people won't even realize what you're doing, but they'll feel it, and they'll start treating you differently, with caution, with attention, with a quiet fear that keeps them in line. Stay until the end, because the 7th behavior is the one Machiavelli said separates those who are feared from those who are forgotten. And right now, whether you know it or not, someone is using it on you. Let's start with the simplest, most powerful move, the delayed response. Most people believe you command respect by having the perfect comeback, quick wit, sharp tongue. Wrong. That makes you predictable. Predictable is easy to handle. Machiavelli wrote, "The prince who acts in haste repents at leisure." Next time someone challenges you, a joke at your expense, a passive-aggressive comment, and unexpected question, watch what your body wants to do. It wants to react instantly, defend, explain, laugh it off. That instinct is the reflex of someone who can be baited, someone who can be controlled. The silent behavior that plants a seed of fear. Pause. 2 seconds. 3 seconds. You hold eye contact. You let the words hang. You don't fill the silence. Imagine you're in a meeting. A coworker says, "Oh, you actually finished that project?" Surprising. Most people would laugh nervously or defend themselves. Instead, you pause. 3 seconds. Then you say, "Yeah, it's done." And you move on. That pause does something primal. It signals you're not desperate for approval. It makes the other person feel the weight of their own words, and it tells them silently that you are not someone who can be rattled. Machiavelli said, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand." People don't remember what you say. They remember how you made them feel in that silence. And if you can make them feel uncertain, you've already won. This behavior works because it's unnatural to most people. But what happens when someone notices you're doing it? That's when the real game begins, and we'll come back to that. The second silent behavior, you stop giving your opinion freely. Most people broadcast their thoughts like they're on sale. Every topic, politics, relationships, someone's life choices, they have to weigh in. Machiavelli observed that uncertainty breeds fear. When people can't predict what you think, they can't predict what you'll do. And unpredictability makes them cautious. The silent behavior, withhold judgment. When someone asks, "What do you think about him?" or "What do you think about that situation?" you don't answer directly. You say something like, "I'm still observing." Interesting. Why do you ask? "I haven't decided yet." This creates a power gap. People start wondering what you know. They start seeking your opinion instead of expecting it. And in that seeking, they place themselves beneath you. In social groups, the person who talks the most is rarely the one people fear. The one people fear is the one who listens, watches, and speaks only when it serves a purpose. Machiavelli called that keeping your counsel. Now think about this. What happens when you apply this with someone who's used to you always answering? They'll get uncomfortable, and that discomfort, is it a sign you're doing it right, or a sign you're losing the relationship? We'll come back to that too. The third behavior, and this one separates the followers from the leaders. You become comfortable with being uncomfortable in public. Most people, when tension rises, rush to fix it. They make jokes, they over-explain, they smile to ease the mood. That's a survival instinct, but it's also a signal that you're afraid of conflict. Machiavelli wrote, "Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception." Deception isn't lying, it's managing perception. And one of the most intimidating perceptions is calm in the face of tension. The silent behavior. Let the tension sit. You're with a group. Someone says something slightly disrespectful. The room looks at you. If you laugh or brush it off, you've just communicated that disrespect is acceptable. If you get angry, you look emotional and weak. Instead, you do nothing. You hold eye contact for a beat longer than comfortable. Then you shift your attention elsewhere as if nothing worth reacting to happened. This creates what I call the unreadable effect. People can't categorize you as pushover or hothead, so they instinctively treat you with more caution. They begin to fear the unknown. Machiavelli said, "A prince must have no other object or thought than war and its organization and discipline." Your discipline in these small moments is your reputation. But here's the hidden risk. If you do this too often without ever re-engaging, you become cold, not feared. So where's the balance? We'll tie that together soon. The fourth, silent behavior. You stop being available on demand. Familiarity breeds contempt. Machiavelli knew this, but familiarity also breeds comfort, and comfort kills fear. The more accessible you are, the less your presence weighs. When people know they can reach you anytime, they stop valuing your attention. The silent behavior, make access conditional. You don't reply to texts immediately unless it's urgent. You don't say yes to every invitation. When someone asks for your time, you say, "Let me check my schedule," even if you're free. Why? Because when people wait for you, they begin to see you as someone whose time is scarce. Scarcity creates value, and value creates a subtle fear of losing access. Machiavelli. Men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that one who deceives will always find those who let themselves be deceived. People respect and fear what they have to earn. Now, here's the test. If you suddenly become less available, some people will get annoyed. They might even accuse you of acting different. That's the test. If you cave, you lose. If you hold frame, they adapt. And they start handling you with more care. But what if they don't adapt? Are they the kind of people you want in your circle anyway? We'll answer that in behavior 6. The fifth, silent behavior. You express emotion strategically, not reactively. Machiavelli said, "A prince ought to have two fears, one from within, on account of his subjects, the other from without, on account of external powers." Fear is a tool, not a feeling. Most people let their emotions leak. Annoyance when interrupted, hurt when criticized, eagerness when praised. Leaking emotion tells others exactly where to push to get a reaction. The silent behavior, keep your emotional response behind your strategic mind. Someone publicly credits you for their own work. The natural reaction is frustration. You want to correct them. Instead, you smile slightly, say nothing, and later, in private, you address it with the person directly. Why? Because public conflict lowers your status. Private correction shows you're in control of the situation and of yourself. It also leaves others wondering, what did he say to them afterward? That uncertainty is a form of fear. Machiavelli wrote, "It is better to be impetuous than cautious, because fortune is a woman." He meant, when you act, act decisively, but choose when to act. Here's where people get stuck. They think this means suppressing emotion entirely. But suppression leaks. People sense it. So what's the real method? We'll get to that with number 7, the sixth behavior. This one breaks the modern nice guy trap. You are generous, but only with those who earn it. Machiavelli's famous warning, benefits should be conferred gradually, and in that way, they will taste better. Most people give freely, time, energy, validation, to everyone. They think generosity builds loyalty. Machiavelli says the opposite. Generosity without discernment creates expectation, not gratitude. And expectation kills fear. The silent behavior, when someone does something that shows loyalty, delivers on a promise, defends you when you're not around, shows alignment, you reward them. Not grand gestures, subtle, a favor. Exclusive information, your time. In a team, there's one person who always has your back privately. You don't publicly praise them. Instead, you give them something valuable that others don't get. An introduction, an opportunity, your trust. This creates a circle of loyalty. Others notice. They start wanting to be in that circle. And the fear of being left out becomes a tool you never even have to use. Now remember, what if someone gets uncomfortable with your silence? If they get uncomfortable and they're not in your circle, that's fine. If they're in your circle and you've been selectively generous, they'll understand. If they don't, they were never loyal. They were just comfortable. And finally, number 7, the behavior Machiavelli considered the most dangerous to ignore. The one that separates people who are feared from people who are forgotten. You control the endings. Most people are great at starting things, conversations, favors, relationships, but they let the other person decide when things end. That's a loss of control. Machiavelli, the one who adapts his policy to the times prospers. The times change when you decide they change. A conversation that's going well, most people keep it going until it fades awkwardly. Instead, you end it first. I've got to go. This was productive. You leave them wanting more of your time, not enough. They feel a subtle anxiety. Did I do something wrong? That anxiety is a form of fear, a negotiation. You don't wait for them to say, "Let me think about it." You say, "I'll give you 48 hours to consider." After that, the offer changes. You set the frame for when things conclude. They feel pressure, not because you threaten them, but because you control the timeline. A relationship, professional or personal, where you're being taken for granted. You don't have a dramatic confrontation. You simply reduce access. You end the dynamic silently. And they're left wondering, what happened? Why did he pull back? Unanswered questions create fear. Why does this generate fear? Because people intuitively understand that whoever controls the ending controls the memory of the interaction. They remember you as the one who was decisive, unpredictable, in control. Now let's bring everything together. What if someone notices you're using these behaviors? Then they're either an ally or an adversary. If they're an ally, they'll respect the discipline. If they're an adversary, they'll try to test you. And when they test you, you apply comfort with discomfort and controlled emotion. You don't react. You respond on your terms. That's when they realize crossing you has a cost. What if someone becomes uncomfortable with your silence? That's the filter Machiavelli would applaud. Uncomfortable people either leave, good, or adjust, better. Fear isn't about making everyone comfortable. It's about creating a structure where people know their place. And the balance between being feared and being cold, it's selective warmth. You use these 7 behaviors to filter. Then, to the ones who prove loyal, you give warmth, access, and trust. Machiavelli said, "Men are quick to change their nature when it serves their interest." Make loyalty in their interest. So here's the question you need to answer for yourself. If fear is silent, how do you know when you've actually earned it versus when people are just plotting against you? Fear without respect turns into resentment. But fear rooted in certainty that you cannot be manipulated, that lasts. The difference is whether they fear you or fear what you control. Here's the final truth Machiavelli left us. It is necessary for a prince to have the people friendly, otherwise he has no security in adversity. Fear without connection fails when you actually need support. So, your move. Apply these 7 behaviors. Track who responds with alignment, not just compliance. Those are the people worth your investment. If you want to, go deeper into how Machiavelli's principles apply to everyday situations, relationships, business, even the way you carry yourself. There are more breakdowns on this channel. Each video is designed to show you exactly how to apply these strategies without losing who you are. Watch one of them right now. I promise you'll start seeing the world differently. And here's your comment question. Out of these 7 behaviors, which one do you already use, and which one do you realize you've been getting completely wrong? I read every comment, and I'll pin the one that best explains how a single moment of silence changed how someone treated you. Because remember, fear isn't created with loud words, it's engineered in what you do, what you don't do, and most importantly, in what you allow.